Good morning, everyone. In today's video, we are going to update you guys on the winter storm that will impact many areas going forward into this weekend. Before we do so, we do ask you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, as we will have additional videos regarding this winter storm, as well as many more going further into this winter. And I do want to briefly remind the followers that come from our Facebook page, we will have an updated article forecast out this evening. This video forecast is just an additional way we provide the weather for you guys. It's something that we just recently added for this winter season. So please, again, our article forecast will be posted in the evenings. So right now we are looking at the NAM model. This is the short range NAM model. And we're going to take this out here to Friday night here. This is going to be Friday 7 p.m. Our storm system here is out west. Areas in Iowa and Minnesota and parts of Wisconsin as well as Illinois. These areas are seeing some snowfall breakout. And then you can see the sleet and freezing rain in between the snow and the rain. Our high pressure is sitting over Canada here. And this will allow for cold air to funnel into the region as this low pressure pushes its way northeastward. Typically, with low pressure tracks to our northwest, this would result in an all-rain event because low pressures, they spin counterclockwise. This means that southerly winds will be the result from this system cutting to our northwest. However, high pressures are the opposite. They have a clockwise motion, and this will allow for northeast winds to funnel into the region, and for colder temperatures at the surface, and initially even in the upper atmosphere, which will allow for snow to fall in many areas at the onset. So we're going to take this further out here to Saturday morning. This is Saturday 7 a.m. and snow is beginning to break out in western PA. Ohio's seeing a wintry mix, and Michigan will remain all snow from this system. But as we push it forward here into Saturday 1 p.m., you can see that the leading edge is still snow for eastern Pennsylvania, parts of central Pennsylvania, but many areas are transitioning to a sleet and freezing rain mix. Now, the latest trends over the last 24 to 36 hours has been for a less snowy solution. Now, that doesn't mean we'll not see any snow from this storm, but instead of a, say, 6-inch snowfall as it once looked 36 hours ago, is now looking more like a 3-4 inch storm for the areas that see all snow out of this system. But the sleet is trending a little bit more aggressive. This particular model I'll show you here in a couple minutes does put out some decent sleet accumulations for some areas. And the freezing rain is always concerned because freezing rain doesn't take much for some ice to really cause travel issues throughout the area. Now we're going to take it out here to Saturday evening. This is now going to be Saturday 7 p.m. And you can see it's certainly possible that snow the sleet and freezing rain might go back to snow, especially across eastern Pennsylvania, as these areas are closer to the high pressure and the stronger cold air source. And upstate New York and pretty much all the northeast here, it will see mainly snow out of this system, and these areas could definitely pick up 2 to 4, 3 to 6 inches of snow area wide. Now we're going to take a look at a slightly closer map here of the same model. This is just looking at the composite reflectivity. It's just another way of looking at this model. And again, you can see snow is breaking out here. This is 10 a.m. Saturday morning across much of Pennsylvania. But the transition line to sleet and freezing rain is already into far western PA here. And we're going to take it out here to, this is now Saturday 1 p.m. Again, most areas will see 1 to 3, 4, maybe even 5 hours of snowfall before a transition to sleet and freezing rain. But again, many areas will see that transition. The only areas that I could see maybe staying all snow right now is areas north of Interstate 80 and north central and northeast PA. Northwest PA will still see likely a transition to even plain rain at some point in this during this storm. Now we're going to take it out here to This is now 4 p.m. Saturday afternoon, and you can see the sleet line goes all the way up into southern New York here, which in my opinion right now, I don't necessarily buy that, but it's certainly possible. So again, if that's the case, these areas in northeast PA, that will cut down on your snowfall accumulations. Now again, I don't think that will verify right now, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on as we track this storm heading into the next couple days. But it is certainly possible that we transition back to snow across eastern PA after transitioning from sleet, like I previously mentioned. And again, all of the northeast here is predominantly snow, and again, several inches of snowfall is possible for the northern areas of the northeast. Now we're going to look at the snowfall map. Now this is, I'm going to change this here. This is actually total snow from 2 storms. So now we're looking at just Saturday's snowfall. So Saturday's snowfall, now this is according to the NAM model. This is not our forecast. I'll briefly touch on our forecast from yesterday in case some of you guys missed it. This shows, this is definitely overdone for central and western PA here, especially across the Laurel Highlands. This is counting some sleet as snow, I believe. Now, while these areas might still see a couple inches of snow, 4 to 6 inches in these areas is definitely overdone. Eastern PA, in this case, might be a little underdone. 2 to 4 is definitely possible, especially for the Lehigh Valley. Northeast PA, again, this is just a model run, so it's not what we actually forecast off of directly. But I would disagree with this Northeast PA forecast of just a coating to maybe an inch or two. This should definitely be filled in at least the 2 to 4 inch range. Now, I do believe South Central PA, this is a pretty good indication for South Central PA. This does not appear to be your storm, as well as Southwest PA. There's going to be a couple screw zones with the snowfall in those two locations. Southwest PA, it's pretty common for these type of storms to, you really don't see much snowfall out of this system. These areas usually transition to plain rain the quickest. Now, South Central PA, it just doesn't seem to be in favor for you for this particular storm. Now, these areas could still see a coating to maybe a couple inches of snow, but right now it is definitely trending less and less aggressive for those areas. Now, one thing that I briefly mentioned was the sleet. According to the NAM model, this is a pretty significant amount of sleet, especially for South Central PA. While these areas might miss out on the snowfall, these areas also stand the best chance to see a longer period of sleet, which could result in maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches of not snowfall, of sleet. Which an inch or 2 of sleet is pretty significant. Now, it's not freezing rain, so it's a little bit easier to drive in, but it's definitely will cause slick conditions Saturday afternoon. And then again, some sleet is even possible all the way up through northeast PA. Don't necessarily agree with it, but verbatim according to this model, it does extend all the way into northeast PA, as well as southeast PA. But again, South Central PA and northern Maryland, these areas stand the best chance to see a longer duration period of sleet going into Saturday. And this is the freezing rain. Now, I believe this is overdone for western PA. These areas could see a brief period of freezing rain, but a quarter to a half inch of freezing rain is likely not going to happen. Instead, maybe up to a 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain. That's certainly possible. I think it might be a little underdone in some of these areas in South Central PA, and as well as the Lehigh Valley area. These areas could see up to a 1/10 of an inch of ice, potentially. Now, I'm just spitballing here. We're going to look at the latest model data as it comes to us throughout this morning and afternoon, as well as the latest observations. So it's not an official forecast. We will have that article out this evening. Now, for those that missed our first forecast, especially for those that's coming from our Facebook page, we have it up on our website here. This is our first call from yesterday evening. Anywhere in this red is 4 to 6 inches. Your darker blues 2 to 4, and your lighter blues a coating to 2 inches. Now, if I had to change this right now, I'd definitely extend this lighter blue region up through Lewistown, probably even touching Sunbury at this point, and kind of rounding Dauphin County and Lebanon County, and all of South Central PA. And then this area all looks fine at the moment. We're probably going to have to trim some of these areas, especially near Oil City and up near probably just west of Bradford as well. These areas are probably going to see more in the 2 to 4 inch range. It looks like right now the best snowfall totals will be across north central PA and northeast PA. Lehigh Valley is going to be right on the border. It's a matter of only 25 miles or so, depending if these areas will see a coating of 2 or maybe as much as 4 or 5 inches of snowfall. That is all going to be determined over the next 48 hours here before our storm system begins to impact us on Saturday. In the meantime, just keep it here to our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and don't forget to download our app as well. It's free on the Apple Store as well as Google Play. And we'll have the latest information this evening. You guys have a great day.